Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy's back! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to another episode of the Nick from Australia Rugby League Q&A. Episode number 15 for your Tuesday night, October 11, 2022. It is currently 7:35 p.m. Hope everyone is doing extremely well in the live chat. We've got about 12 people here. 12 people here as we speak. It's good to see everyone in the live chat. Hello to everyone that's here. Hello to Let's Go Bulldogs. Hello to Jay Evans. We got hello to Cody Games PlayStation. Jason Reader is here. We've got SS Storm Fan. We got Faraz. We got Flash to Tagol. Who else we got here rolling in? The chat's looking good. Everyone's tuning in. Good to see. Bit of a nice turnout for Tuesday night, October 11. Fantastic. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well. Another episode of a Q&A tonight. I did one of these, I think it was this time last week. So, thought to myself, why not do another one tonight? Haven't really been looking for much content lately. There's been a lot. It's been tough, actually, thinking of content this time of year, obviously with the NRL season over, World Cup starting this weekend. Been tough, I tell you. It's been tough thinking of video ideas as of late. I also want to let you guys know that the Breakdown podcast will be happening this week at some point. I'm not sure when, but there will be an announcement. The podcast will be on this week at some stage. All right, if you got your questions in, just fire them in the live chat. Obviously, I don't want to be answering too much of, will this team be in the top 4 next year? Will my team play the finals? I don't want the same old questions. I want different, and I want some unique questions. So, I see what you guys have got. Righto. Let's have a look at some questions here in the live chat. And we're going to begin with the very, very first question, and it's from Faraz. Broncos or Manly, who's most likely to make the finals in 2023? This is what I'm talking about. These sort of questions I don't want to answer too much because I get them all the time. But I'm going to say probably the Broncos as of right now. Could change though. All right. What else we got here? Other questions here. What else we got here? Faraz, Titans or Storm, which one can't you stand? I can't stand the Titans, bro. You know this. I can't stand the Titans. Fuck them. Electrical Dust has a very, very intriguing question. What are your thoughts on millions being invested into the North Sydney Bears potentially come as the 18th team? And it depends on how the Dolphins do at the club in their first season. So, yeah, I did say something about the Dolphins. I did say something on Instagram today about Sydney Bears. They have been offered $15 million, I think it was, to come back to the NRL. Now, whether that's North Sydney, whether that's the Perth Bears or the Central Coast Bears, it's still a little bit uncertain. I like the idea of the Bears coming back. It's just common sense, and it has to happen. The Bears need to be back in the NRL. They should never have been kicked out to begin with. That whole thing was a fucking mess. Whole thing was a joke. Bring back the Bears. I don't care if it's Perth, Central Coast, or it's a regional Bears team. I don't care. Just get them back and bring them in as the 18th team. 18th team makes sense. And look, I don't think it has anything to do with the Dolphins. I really don't. The Bears have got some of the best juniors in Sydney, especially on that Central Coast area. And if you're going to go to Perth as well, you'll get players from everywhere. So there's definitely enough talent around the country. It's just a matter of giving them the chance. So I'm saying bring back the Bears, and I think it's a no-brainer. It has to happen. It really does. All right, let's go to another question. Bandit wants to know, Nick, when's the next episode for Driving with NFA coming out? I'm thinking Friday night, Bandit. I'm thinking Friday or Saturday night I'll be doing another episode of Driving with NFA. That'll probably be on the weekend or Friday night, so stay tuned for that. Most likely Friday night, but I can't confirm anything yet. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Electrical Dust has got another fantastic question. Thoughts on Volandis saying that he wants the NRL to have a draft and wants clubs to also support the idea. I know Penrith won't support it. An NRL draft makes sense. It's been talked about for quite some time now. I think the NRL need a draft system. We need a trade deal, a trade deadline. I'm sick of players being able to go to a big club, 4 weeks before finals. Like the Matt Lodge with the Roosters thing, that was a bargain for the Roosters, but it was a bit of a joke as well. Because Matt Lodge went from a team that wasn't going to play finals to a team that did make the finals. So I think a draft system would be good. It would definitely help the bottom teams that are struggling. You can have trade picks. You can trade for picks with players, a bit like they do in the NBA and in the AFL and in the NFL and other sporting codes. If the NRL want to get even more popular, I think the draft system, I think it needs to happen, and it needs to happen. It's a no-brainer. I think it needs to happen as well. All right, for us, most overrated season from which team? Most overrated season from which team? Oh, look, it's there's so many you could throw in there. It's hard to go past Manly. It's hard to go past the Gold Coast, Newcastle, teams that were in the top 8 last year. I will say Manly, just because they had the best player in the game in Tom Chaboy, but he got injured and everyone else struggled. So it just makes Manly look pretty poor. So I'll say Manly were pretty overrated this year. They didn't go well, and Chaboy is important to them. He's not there. They're a joke. So one player should not make a fucking team. It's just ridiculous. Jason Reeder, in your opinion, how will the Dolphins go next year? That's a good question. I don't think they'll come last. I don't think they will be in the top 8 either. If I had to go out on the limb right now with the Dolphins, I'd probably put them 14th or 13th. 17th is obviously last. They'll probably be bottom 4 or just outside it in 12th or something. Or 13th. But yeah, they probably will struggle. Who's the grubbiest player you have ever met? Well, I've met a few. I would say Josh Maguire. I met Josh Maguire at the Dragons and Bulldogs game back in Belmore earlier in the year. Maguire for sure. Nice and top bloke, but we all know he's a massive grub. So Josh Maguire as well. Hey, Nick, thoughts on the squad name for Australia to play Fiji on Sunday? Yeah, I was actually going to mention this. Before I came on the air tonight, I did actually see this. The Kangaroos named their 1-17 against Fiji. I'm just going to get it up on the screen here on my phone here. Just bear with me. I did see this. All right. So they got what? Teddy, Addo-Carr, Trell, Holmes. Yeah. Talangi got a spot, so well played. Munster. Oh, I went Cherry Evans over Cleary. Wow, that's big. Tino and Jake Chaboyevich in the front row. Not bad. Hunt and Hooker. Crichton and Nanai in the back row. That's a dangerous back row, man. Cam Murray at lock and on the bench. What you got? Harry Grant, Ruben Cotter, Paddy Carrigan, and Jack Whiten. 18th man, Matt Burton and Jersey 19, Campbell Graham. It's not going to be the Kangaroos' strongest team for the World Cup, but it's, with all due respect, they're only playing Fiji. It's a good squad. It's a good team. It should beat Fiji. I'm going to be doing a week 1 predictions for the World Cup, probably through the week as well, probably tomorrow. So I think it's a good squad. I think it's really good side. I think it's a good team. Murray Talangi on the wing. How good? Electrical Dust. Any signings that you could see happening? Good question. I think the Cowboys are going to make a signing because I think with the whole Leilua being stood down thing and losing Tom Gilbert, the Cowboys might try and get another forward. I have been rumors that the Cowboys are interested in Emre Gula. Emre Gula could be coming up north if Ricky don't want him. And I've also been hearing a bit about Royce Hunt maybe being available as well. But I don't know. There's a few clubs are going around. Kyle Flanagan might get moved to the Dragons. I've been hearing a bit about that as well. So, yeah, I think that's about it for now. I've also heard that Souths are interested in Martin Tapau. So that's probably set to happen as well. Let's go. Bulldogs has got a question. If my computer wants to load up, fuck me dead. What's wrong with this computer tonight? What's your favorite player? Or what's your favorite non-Cowboys player? Fuck, there's so many I could choose from, but I'll go Latrell Mitchell. I love him. I love Latrell Mitchell. You just can't criticize him. He's so good. Faraz has a question. Should Allianz host an Origin game? I'm gonna say no. A core stadium will get what 83,000 people. Allianz can only get 45, so I don't think Allianz should host Origin at all. A call is a no-brainer. Faraz again. Titans should miss Magic Round as their membership and crowd attendance are poor, but they are a Queensland side, so they'll get it. But for me, I feel they should be an option to miss Magic Round. This is going to be unpopular as fuck, but the Warriors should miss Magic Round. How many fans from New Zealand are going to travel over? That's what I want to know. Maybe the Tigers. The Tigers had a terrible year last year, and I feel like if you come last, you should miss out on something good like Magic Round. So I'd say the West Tigers or the New Zealand Warriors. The Titans won't miss out because they're a Queensland side and it's Magic Round in Brisbane. So I'd say Tigers or Warriors. On a click. There we go. Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on. What is this? Who had the least attendance this year at the home matches? I think it was West Tigers. I can't remember exactly who it was, but I'm sure I saw West Tigers involved in that. Could be wrong though. Maybe the Warriors. I don't know. What else we got here? When's the next late night show coming out, bro? I've been meaning to get around to it for weeks. I still don't know. I'm hoping this weekend. I really am. I don't know what day. I'm hoping this weekend. It needs to be this weekend, so hopefully. When is the next one-on-one with the NFA coming out? That is to be announced. I haven't even thought that far ahead for that. That'll probably be a next year series, but we'll see. Who do you think will be the most underrated signing going into 2023? I'll tell you what I reckon. I reckon Jack Murphy to the Parramatta Eels is going to be one of the most underrated signings next year. He's going to play in that right edge where Isaiah Papali'i was. Jack Murphy's going to be playing next to Mitchell Moses. Jack Murphy loves a try. He's a very good player. So I'll say Jack Murphy. I think he'll be very underrated next season. Thoughts on Des Hasler resigning from Manly? What a mess that whole thing has become. Des Hasler and the Seagulls. I'll save most of that for the podcast this week, but I would just want to say one thing. If Seabold is going to take over and be the Seagulls coach, Manly are fucked. It's as simple as that. Underdogs coming into the 2023 season. I think the Bulldogs are one of them. I think they're going to be a pretty good team next year. I think they're going to improve a bit. I think they're a bit of an underdog. I'd say Bulldogs in Canberra. They're an underdog side next year. If they all click, then maybe Dogs will 2023 Dark Horse. Cronulla, Cowboys. I think the other two. Because when the season starts next year, everyone's going to tip Penrith three-peat, Roosters win the premiership, Storm bounce back. Fucking, it's all I'm going to hear. Maybe South could be a dark horse. I'll say South, Cronulla, and Cowboys. They're probably the three dark horse teams for me. Favorite moment of visiting a stadium this year for a footy game? Mine was meeting you at Allianz, mate, and CJ. Well, for us, I appreciate that, mate. For me, it was being at Shark Park where we won on the bell. Got it on video where there was me, the King, All Out Champa, Pro Enzo Vids, CJ Moxley. We're all there together. And Val Holmes kicks a field goal and we all just react and just go absolutely mental. That was my favourite moment of any stadium I've been to. That was the greatest night of my life. The greatest game I've ever been to, that was. Unbelievable. And we're down by 8 with about 6 to go. So, unbelievable. We'll never forget it. We'll never forget it. Thoughts on Danny Levi coming back to the NRL? I like it. I like Danny Levi. I've always rated him as a highly regarded player. I heard he's going to Canberra. I don't know if he's going to be in the 17. I think he should be, though, because Zach Wolford seems to be their future, and Danny Levi too. Tom Starling might be the one on the way out. So, who knows? But I think Tom Starling might be end up on another club. So that's what it seems like to me. If you had to pick one bottom 4 team to make the 8 next year, who would it be? That is a really good question. Well, we got the Tigers, Warriors, Knights, and Titans. I'd say the Warriors are most likely to make the 8 out of those sides. Hey, Nick, who do you think will be the best performed Super League player in the World Cup? Great question, National Sports Loaded. Great question. I'll go with Morgan Nolis from St. Helens. I think he's going to kill it. I think he will kill it. Hello to Jack Wotherspoon in the live chat. I hope you're doing well, mate. Bandit says, did you hear the news of Curtis Rona might come back to the NRL? No, I didn't hear that. But if he does come back, good on him. Good player he is. He was a good player when he was at the Bulldogs and the Cowboys. Really good player. Will Andy Ackers shine in the World Cup? I think so. Daniel Bate. Shout out to everyone over there in the UK as well. Hope everyone in the UK is doing well. And if you see any NRL players, don't be afraid to get a photo of them. Shout out to everyone over there in the UK. Andy Ackers, yep. The Dolphin hooker, I think he'll go well too. He looks good, Andy Ackers. He's a good player. Very good player. Reece Walsh will be a big signing for the Broncos. Hit or miss? I will say hit. Nick, what is it Manly doing next year? Well, if Des is coaching, they're around the 8 with Tom being healthy. If Des is not coaching, well, they're fucked. Des gets a sack, swear to God, that club is going all sorts. Can you see in the next 4 years, can you see the Bulldogs make the top 4? Yeah, why not? Why the hell not? Why the hell not? In 4 years, maybe. It may be the case. Is Munster re-signing the biggest in their history? No. I don't think so. Who else we got here? Oh, great question here from Faraz. Does Super League get a lot of unnecessary hate? Fucking oath it does. I'm sick of all these fuckwits on social media saying, oh, the Super League's the old dad league and fucking players go over there just for money and a holiday. And it's just fake news. It really is. You see NRL players go over there and some of them struggle. It's not all... Some Super League players go to the NRL and they struggle with the weather and the grounds and the conditions and the system and the way they play. But you never hear people say, oh, the NRL players struggle in the Super League. They fucking do. They fucking do. John Bateman's first year back in the Super League after being in the NRL was horrible. He wasn't even in the top 5, top 10 back rowers when he came back to the Super League. You've got Gareth Widdop. Everyone said, "Oh, he'll win Man of Steel." No, he didn't. Didn't even go close. It's just, there is a lot of unnecessary hate, man. It drives me nuts. Jack Wallacepoon's got a question. He says, Nick, Cowboys are going to be better next year because with their young players. Yeah, bro. 100%. Cowboys, I think they'll be in the top 4 next year. Lots of incredible young players and, yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Super League 8, good consistent crowds and all the dumped NRL players revolve their careers. It's underrated, if anything. Yeah, it is, bro. It is, bro. Instead of the media bashing them all the time, they go over there and they're given a chance to try and, resurrect their career and bounce back. It's fantastic. And Faraz just continues with the question. He said, look at Brody Croft. He was horrible for Brisbane. Now he got Man of Steel first year in. Yeah, 100%, bro. Nobody wanted to buy Jai Field. At Parramatta and at St. George, I was like, this kid could be anything. No one wanted him. And he went over to Wigan and he's killing it. Same with Bevan French. Parramatta didn't want him because he wanted to play fullback, so they got rid of him. He went to Wigan, killing it. Killing it. Look at Jackson Hastings. Look at Brody Croft. Look at all these players. They were decent NRL players, but they weren't given the chance because for whatever reason they just had a falling out with the clubs that they were at, and they've gone over there. They've grown up a bit, and I love it. I love the Super League. I think it's fantastic. Let's go Bulldogs. Do you think every player should wear headgear? Definitely not. World Cup top try scorer. Wow, good question. I'll go. You know what? I'm going to go Dominic Young. Dominic Young from England. I reckon he might get it. Jai Arrow, underrated for Souths? Yes. Definitely. Who's your favourite underrated player, Nick? Oh, wow. That's another hard question. All right. It won't be a Cowboys player. I'll go someone else. If it was a Cowboys player, I'd probably go with something like Peter Hiku or someone like Cohen Hess or something. But I'll go outside of the Cowboys. Let's go underrated. Wow, what a question. I will go with... Fuck, that is hard. I'll go Scott Sorensen from Penrith. I think Sorrow's underrated. I'll go Scotty Sorensen. What's your thoughts on the Cowboys next year? Top 4. Jason Reader, what rules would you change for next season? The 2-point field goal would be automatically scrapped. It's fucking hopeless and pointless. I would get rid of... So, what I'd like to fix... When a team has a scrum 10, 20 metres out, or if they're down the other end of the field, if the defending team gives away a deliberate 6 again for being off the scrum, I would make that a sin bin. Because if you have a scrum 10 metres out and you're on the attack and someone, the defending team is deliberately offside and they're tackling you, that for me is a foul play, it's a professional foul. So I think that should be a rule they should consider changing. And when the bunker gets involved, try scoring situations only. Don't get involved. If there's a grubber kick and it goes dead and it's touched by 2 players from the other team and they're not sure who touched it last, let the referee make the decision. If the players don't like it, they can challenge it. I'm sick of the bunker coming involved saying, oh, no, we overturned it. I'm sick of that bullshit. And that rule needs to stop. Most impressive Cowboys win. Probably the game against Cronulla in the finals, obviously. The one against Manly when we came back at Brookie was pretty good, so I'd say that one. That was really good. Greg's got a question. What do you think of the Dolphin squad so far? I don't think it's as bad as everyone is making it out. Yeah, I think their squad's a lot better than last, so they should go okay, but nothing special. They'll probably be about 12th to 13th next year. I think 12th or 13th would be a good start. Avoid the bottom 4. So the bottom 4 now is 17th, 16th, 15th, 14th. You finish higher than 14th, Redcliffe Dolphins, I think you've done all right for the first year for the new franchise. Scotty Sorensen, yeah, 100%. Titans ruined Fafita's career. Yep, they are ruining his career. He needs to get out of that team ASAP. David Fafita, here's my advice. Go to Sydney. Get the fuck away from the Gold Coast as soon as possible. And if I'm David Fafita, I'm going to Souths or something. I'm going down that way. Get the fuck out of the Gold Coast. Jack Wotherspoon says, you reckon Cowboys should have kept the Hammer because he is young? Should have got rid of Kyle Felt because he's getting too old. I disagree. Kyle Felt's still got what it takes. The Hammer is good, but like you said, like we say all the time, you can't keep them all. I'm a little bit annoyed that we got rid of that. I'm a little bit annoyed that the Hammer left, but I can live with it. Should they keep the Captain's Challenge? Yes. Yes. What do you think of Jerome Luai, and is he the most grubbiest player in the NRL, or is it someone else? I'll tell you what, Jerome Luai is one of the biggest grubs, without a doubt, but there are a few others. You can throw in Nelson, Asafa Solomona, Jared Waria Hargraves. You can throw in who else is there? Felice Kafusi. You can throw in so many you can throw in now. Dead set. There's so many, man. There's so many of them, like dead set. Zane Musgrave from the West Tigers, or apparently he's going to the Dragons. Musgrave's a grub. There's a lot of them, bro. There really is. There's a lot of grubs out there. Maybe too many grubs. Quite frustrating. All right, what other questions we got here? We'll wrap things up here really soon. Jack, what do you reckon? Who do you reckon the Dolphins should sign next? I think they need another 5. I think Milford and O'Sullivan will be okay, but they just need something else. They're missing that big marquee half. I think Aiden Caesar. They should look at Aiden Caesar, but he just re-signed in the Super League, so maybe not Aiden Caesar. Maybe it's going to sound a bit funny, but Tyrone May. He's a good player, Tyrone May. He can play quite several positions, and Tyrone May does have a bit of an attitude problem in his career so far. But Tyrone May under Wayne Bennett, good behaviour. Have a look at James Roberts' career. James Roberts was a bit in and out of teams, and then he went to Wayne Bennett and become a much better player, and he was an Origin player. So maybe Tyrone May to the Dolphins. That wouldn't be a bad move. Thoughts on Hasler leaving? Already answered that. What else have I missed up here that I should answer? Will you watch the T20 World Cup or nah? Probably not, bro. The NBA's starting up soon, so I'm going to be getting into that a lot. Let me know in the comment section, guys, or in the live chat, if you guys want me to do an NBA season preview. I do know my basketball. I do love watching the NBA. I go for the Boston Celtics, so let me know in the live chat if you want me to do an NBA preview, if you guys are into NBA. It wouldn't hurt to bring a bit of a different variety to sports on the channel for the obviously with the NRL finishing up, and obviously I got the World Cup to do and whatnot. Wouldn't mind doing a bit of different sports like the NBA, for example. If you had to be any NRL player, past or present, who would you be? No goats, please. Be interesting. All right. I would love to be... wow, good question. No greats or no goats, okay. Righto. I will go... Ty Williams. He used to play for the Cowboys on the wing with the black headgear, Aboriginal bloke. Used to play wing and centre. Ty Williams. Always admired him. I've always, as a kid, I used to just love him. So I'd say Ty Williams. Do you watch any other sports in Australia? Yeah, I watch. So obviously I watch the NRL. I watch the AFL. I can't get into the NBL. I think the NBL is just dog shit. I can't get into the A-League because it's dog shit. I watched about 20 minutes of the Brisbane Roar game the other day, and I felt sick to my stomach. I watched the Premier League. I watched the NBA. I watched the NFL quite a bit. It's hard with the NFL because it's on during the day when I'm at work and whatnot. So yeah, I do like Big Bash cricket. I might bring Big Bash cricket to my channel actually. Big Bash is something that might be popular for you guys. NBA season preview, would love to see that. All right, well, I'll definitely consider it. Please do one. All right, well, seems to be quite popular so far. Jay Evans says, mate, I'd love to watch any sport reviews. Would you do some UFC? Not really into UFC, but I can definitely give it a look and do something like that. Jay, just if you want to hit me up on Instagram or something and just give me a recommendation on what to watch and whatnot, let me know, bro. Have you seen much of Matty Lee's stuff for England? Yeah, I have Matty Lee's. I've seen a lot of him. Quality player. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up. That's going to wrap things up. Who do you go for in the NBA? I go for the Boston Celtics. That's my team in the NBA since I started watching NBA. So I'll go for the Celtics. All right, guys. That is going to wrap up the Q&A, episode number 15, all done and dusted. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section below if you want me to do an NBA season preview or whatnot. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a fantastic night, and I'll see you guys in the next one.